Hey, what's up, dudes and dudettes? It's me, Keon from Frameforge, and I was just shredding on my guitar. These intros are getting hard to come up with. What's up, everybody? It's Keon from Frameforge, and like the rest of the world this week, I've been watching Cobra Kai on Netflix, which used to be on YouTube Red, but now both seasons are on Netflix, and I ain't complaining, I'm down to watch it again. But the thing that surprised me this time around is how interesting some of the characters are based on a pretty simple storytelling technique called the ghost and the foil. What are ghosts and foils, and how do they apply to Cobra Kai? Well, to find out, why don't you hit that like, smash that subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay tuned. So plain and simple, a ghost is something that happened in a character's past that has been haunting them and is going to inform what they do today. It's usually used as like a tragic backstory, primarily when a parent dies. For example, like in Harry Potter, where both his parents are killed and that informs the rest of the story. Or like in the many incarnations of Batman, where we see his parents die in an alley. And the crazy thing is that Johnny and Daniel's ghost stem from the exact same moment, when Daniel kicked Johnny in the face and won the karate tournament way back in the 80s. And after the tournament, presumably Johnny's life just goes downhill. He doesn't get the girl of his dreams, he graduates and probably doesn't hang out with any of his friends from high school, and he still has the same car from the 80s, calling it a classic. And actually that car is the thing that starts the entire story in motion when he gets hit. And then he has to go and meet Daniel. And Daniel's life's been pretty great since the tournament. It's been going uphill, but the thing that's interesting is that his ghost isn't from after the tournament, but from before the tournament. Johnny and Cobra Kai represent Daniel's childhood and all the bullying he had before the tournament. So Cobra Kai coming back represents all of his insecurities from when he was a kid coming back as well. So now we understand that Daniel and Johnny's lives went on completely different paths because of the kick at the end of the Karate Kid movie, and Daniel winning the tournament. And in my opinion, this makes Daniel and Johnny perfect foils for each other. A foil is a character that contrasts another character and usually highlights some qualities in our protagonist. And these two are perfect foils for each other. Johnny is in a pretty tough spot, both financially, mentally, emotionally, and professionally. He was let go from his job and he doesn't seem to have too many prospects. While Daniel's living it up. He has an amazing family, a perfect job, he's running his own business. He seems to have exactly what he wants from life. But the key to good foils are what connects them. And I might be going too psychological here, but in my opinion, the thing that connects Daniel and Johnny are their really poor father figures before they became karate kids. That was a really weird joke for me talking about them having bad childhoods. Johnny only really had his mom and his mom's sugar daddy, and apparently they didn't really take care of him when he was a kid, so he found his father figure being his sensei at Cobra Kai, who apparently wasn't very good to his pupils. Don't. And we have the perfect contrast to that in Daniel, who didn't really have a father growing up, but had a really good father figure in the form of Mr. Miyagi, who he was so desperate to hang out with that in the second movie, this actually happens, that he took out all of his savings and then took a gap year off of after he graduated high school to go to Okinawa, Japan and hang out with Mr. Miyagi and start it. It was a whole thing. I know that's the conceit to start the second movie, but at the same time, oof, that's not the smartest move for a teenager to be making. So now we understand that both characters are acting based on their father figures and their insecurities from when they were in high school, and we see how that informs how they treat their kids. We see that Daniel's trying to be what he thinks is the perfect father by giving his kids everything that he didn't have when he was young. While Johnny's still trying to figure things out. He's not really the best role model for his son, and he's pretty absent in his son's life, but he's trying to do his best to be the sensei that he didn't have, and do good by everybody at Cobra Kai in whatever way that he thinks is right. So now we see that Johnny and Daniel are dealing with very similar ghosts, with what happened around the tournament when Daniel beat Johnny, but also how they're dealing with their own lack of father figures growing up, and how their adolescence influences how they are now. And the show explores that by showing how the teens are asking them for advice and how they're trying to do the best they can to inform the next generation. And that's without me talking, I didn't even talk about the kids in this show, the teens. They're super good, they're really well written, and they all have their own interesting arcs based on the information that they're given from these two kind of authority figures. It's great. Google psychology. But honestly, I really enjoy a lot of the teen characters. They're written a little weird sometimes, but it's pretty good. And the show has some pretty deep characters for something that's based off of the villain from an 80s karate movie. So now I hope that you understand that making two characters foils of each other and giving them interesting backstories in the form of ghosts can make some pretty complicated characters when you think about it. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Cobra Kai and how it deals with ghosts and foils. In the comments, please let me know what you thought of Cobra Kai. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike, and consider subscribing. Recently, we've been doing a lot of videos about like #1 Netflix shows, so go check out our most recent videos, and it's probably about something you've been watching. So go enjoy that. And if you're free on Wednesday evenings, we've been streaming pretty consistently for the past couple weeks. So go check out any of our streams on our stream playlist, or come check us out on Wednesday evenings and hang out on stream. It's been pretty crazy. And if I hit RR now, but that's it for me, and if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna get back to shredding on my guitar like a cool 80s guy. I should probably go back and take guitar lessons.